Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Monday, March 17th, 2025, 12:30 p.m. Start with the public forum. Anybody in the room or online? Online, there's a hand raise option. Seeing none. Seeing none in the room. Close the public forum. Move on to agenda approval. Anything else we need to add to the agenda?
Do you want to add any time to work on evaluations today? Or do you want to do that on a different meeting?
No, I think we only have to do.
You just have one.
I think we should have an executive for the evaluation. Do that before the county or commission comments, or you want to do it after?
After commission comment.
That way, once we go into executive, close the meeting and be done. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, move on to administrative.
Okay, first thing we have are the minutes of March 10. I did make one correction. It was saying March 3rd on some of the pages, so I just updated the date.
Everybody had a chance to review the minutes with the corrected.
I'll move accepted with the corrected dates.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Where the tab is at.
Go through all those.
Do what?
Uh-oh.
Fail. At least it wasn't too far back. Is that the only one?
Yep. The rest is the resolution.
Yeah.
All right, next we have some change orders. Alright, next we have early checks in the amount of $18,800.18. No, sorry. $18,818.53.
Any questions? If not, make a motion to approve the $18,818.53.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0.
Alright, next we have a board appointment for a vacant position, trustee position for Clear Creek Township. They would like Anna Maria Kraus to fill that position. She was previously, but she was not voted in for that position. Person that was is already clerk, so he denied the position, and then so Anna Maria would like to have the trustee.
That's done by motion and a vote of the board.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve Anna Maria Clear Creek Township.
Second.
Mike, second.
Name.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5-0.
Alright, so we participate in a microloan, USDA microloan. We have a business that is no longer in business. They are delinquent, 1,640 days. It's the bait bucket. The delinquent amount is $705.75. We have to report this annually, and we are asking that you guys write it off so that we don't have to be reporting on it anymore.
What was the sense? 705 what?
75.
75.
Is there, we have any type of collection activity or other than just correspondence?
You can say whatever history, because you know the history on that part.
So the business closed, they were making payments on that loan for a long time after it closed, and then they stopped making payments. So it's been several years since we've received anything from them.
The last time was in October 2021.
Okay.
So you would just need to make a motion and a vote with the business's name and the amount that you approve to write it off.
Make a motion to approve a write-off of $705.75 for the bait bucket.
Second that.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0.
So we've done this a couple years, but the last 2 years we've held it in April. Are you guys interested in doing an employee appreciation luncheon?
I think they all liked it.
Usually there was a couple commissioners that donated hamburger and sausage, or is that something you still wanna do?
Sausage
Donate
donation.
sausage?
So I'll take the sausage on.
The rest of us just split the cost of the hamburger 4 ways since you're getting that. Do you remember how many pounds of hamburger we got? You still have a record?
I think he was sending like patties actually, so.
We have it all down here.
It wouldn't change much.
There's 116 hamburger patties.
So those
So
the
divide by,
last time.
you divide that by 4.
those were bigger than quarter pound, weren't they? They weren't a quarter pound.
About a quarter pound, I think. They're frozen. That is. I'm not good math.
I'll bring my smoker. I don't know how we're gonna cook the hamburger.
Well, I was gonna ask about that. Does anybody wanna bring a grill? Or I know Randy Dahlke mentioned he wouldn't mind coming and cooking for us.
He acted like he could.
So that is up to
That'd be
you.
nice if we could get a hold of him and see if he'd be available, depending on the day, I suppose. You have a day in mind?
There could be April 11th or the 18th. Does that work for anybody? That's a Friday.
Right, okay.
How about the 11th?
Either or.
And that's about 30 pounds of hamburger.
That okay if we split that up 4 ways?
Yeah.
Eleventh would work for me better than the 18th.
Anybody got a problem with Randy bringing a grill?
I have no issues with it.
He's willing.
That works so good, that big grill, big on wheels.
Atlas Gas Company has a big grill that they loan out to the public.
Belongs to Atmos.
They loan it to Randy.
Okay, well, no, it's right.
Good.
Are we April 11th or was,
Anybody got a conflict with April 11th?
As long as it's all right with Randy.
Alright.
okay,
Yeah.
we'll shoot for April 11th. I'll let you know if that changes.
He gets the final vote.
The rest of the stuff we just buy at the grocery store.
Yeah.
We typically have taken that out of the employee fund. We generate that money by selling the soda downstairs in the pop machine.
Good use.
And then the last thing I wanted to do was update you on my schedule a little bit. Last week, so the state was holding 9 classes for the clerk and the election clerk. It started back in 2023. Tina got the first 3 classes, so I am missing the first 3 classes. But Michelle finished all 9 classes last week. She is officially certified by the state to be election official. So we finished that. Hopefully then they will have annual classes every year to keep that up. Hopefully the first 3 classes they have in fall, so I can then take that. This Wednesday and Thursday I will be at New Clerk School in Topeka. March 31st through April 4, I have Sanborn Institute schooling that I'll be going to. It's a week class for 3 years to be a certified county clerk, and then the 4th year is to become a master county clerk. So I'll be taking that. And then on March 31st, since I won't be here and we have a meeting, Tina will take the minutes that day for me. And then April 16th, I have July abstract class in Topeka. The 17th, I have North Central County Clerk's spring meeting. And then the April 29th through May 2nd, I have KCCOA. So
Any of those others conflicts with the commission meetings?
maybe KCCOA. I haven't decided if I'll miss the morning Wednesday class to be here for commission or if Tina will then do the meeting that day or not. So this should not conflict with anything.
And then there is a meeting that I'll miss also. Oh, I
In
will
May,
miss
wasn't
the
it?
May meeting, payday meeting, so.
So I just wanted to let you know about all that.
You told your family?
Yes, do they remember? I don't think so.
You have to go old fashioned like I do at my house. I just start writing everything on the calendar.
Right.
So how
We
many
go week by week right now.
people do have official election clerks now? Just one or?
Well, official by the state would be Michelle. I have 3 classes to still
What if
take.
he went off? I mean, since you're not taking classes anymore.
So that's it. That's all I have.
Every county has to have at least one.
Mhm.
That was a lot of information. So,
State pay for those classes?
Yeah, we don't have to pay for the that one. For the election one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to pay for that. Correct. You started it.
Unfunded.
Yeah.
mandate.
They paid for it.
Alright,
Okay.
administrator.
Really, all I have is my report, which was in the packet. There was quite a bit on it. My report for this week will be a lot shorter because Road and Bridge, Steve's out this part of this week. But basically, he's given me all of the information about what they're gonna be working on, so. Let's see. Did you have any questions about anything on the report?
I have a question about the permit for Orsted.
The road crossing permit?
Well, it's not a road crossing permit, it's
That's a utility permit. So what we call them a road crossing permit, basically.
The policy that you cite here is for public utility companies. And if you look at statute 79-5A01, the term is public utility or public utilities shall not include. If you go down to line item number 5, any individual, company, corporation, association of persons, listings, yada, 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 who markets or sells electricity at wholesale only, has no retail customers, and is generated by an electric generation facility or addition to an electric generation facility is actually and regularly used predominantly to produce and generate electricity utilizing renewable energy resources. So, to me, it seems that you can't issue a permit to them as a public utility when they're not a public utility.
Okay, then we probably need to update our permit form because we want to require a permit for anybody that is wanting to do work in our right of way. And that was, so if we need to update the wording on our permit, then we need to do that. This is just for them to be able to modify and work on in our right of way.
My additional concerns are, number one, when this system was put in, they had a road agreement with the county, which designated their haul routes and the roads that they could use for this project. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And to my understanding, this road is not a part of that original road agreement. Why didn't we require them then to utilize the existing road agreement that we had with them for the construction of this project?
Because I'll have to look into it. It was for the construction of the project, so,
Right.
and it's already constructed, so.
But the road agreement was for the project. My concern is, when I look at this permit, it was applied for on March 3rd. They didn't even feel like they had to put their name in the application form where it says utility company. With a projected start date of March 6th, and it was approved on March 14th. And I heard about it from landowners in Florence at 7:30 Friday morning complaining that you got all these trucks tearing up 120th, building a radii and a access road under a permit that wasn't even approved yet.
I asked, because somebody had said there were trucks on the road, and I was told that project hadn't started yet, but they were moving, they had to put they were on the road because of the working on finishing the lighting. So that's what I was told, that they weren't starting this radii project until after, like, this week, so. That's what I was told. So if that's incorrect, then,
Well, it was, what they told me, it was Marty Dalkey and a couple other contractors hauling gravel, and I don't know why they need to haul gravel to fix lights.
okay, my understanding was that they had to be able to get to every single turbine because they have to actually go to each turbine for that, so.
For the lights.
So I guess maybe our permit needs more work, but the whole reason that we were doing that permit was so that anybody that was going to be performing work in a county road right of way should be for any reason, they would have to apply for a permit and pay a permit fee rather than just being allowed to, like, just going and doing it, so.
I understand that, but I guess, you know, my concern is then we got a note in the mail from Sharon that they're gonna be replacing a blade.
Mhm.
You know, the last several weeks, we've had discussions about the wind company, and you know, this is the first, I mean, I didn't hear about this until Friday from private landowners. And now Sharon is letting us know that they're gonna be replacing a blade, and they've gotta rebuild a crane path, and I guess, you know, I've had a lot of concerns with this. These blades contain biphenyl A, which is a carcinogen. They're known to shed as much as 140 pounds of this per year per turbine just from wear and erosion. And they're gonna take one down and they're gonna cut it up into little pieces and haul it out of here. Are we requiring any mitigation? I don't know, you've cut fiberglass, what does it do when you cut fiberglass?
Everyone.
It shoots everywhere. You know, this stuff, 20 pounds of this stuff is enough to contaminate all of Marion Reservoir at Conservation Pool to limits that EPA deems a hazard to not only to people but to livestock and to wildlife. Are we holding them accountable when they take this down and cut it up? Typically, OSHA requires these to be cut up in a clean room where everything is basically built.
Recycle facility. It needs to go directly to the recycle facility.
And we're gonna allow them to cut it up and spread this dust all over Marion County. Are we,
So just taking it, in the email say they were taking it to a recycle center, or
Yes.
they're gonna cut it before they take it?
they're gonna, if you'll read her email, they're gonna reduce its size and transport it.
Manageable.
So that, and I've seen them going down the road, they cut them into little bitty pieces and they put them on a regular semi. But just the fact that they're gonna drop that on the ground in Marion County and cut that up and then load it on trucks with the winds that we've had, where is this stuff going? There's no way they can contain any of that.
So we need a copy of what they're gonna do, kind of.
Well, no, they really need to take the blade away from Marion County, intact.
Intact. To protect I mean,
I don't know what their procedure is, so we can get
Well-
more information on that.
exactly.
Did you go up?
I could have done that before the meeting if I would have known that there were concerns, so, but we can do it.
I mean, I've expressed my concerns for the last month over this.
Right, I mean, but on this specific
Yeah,
item, because
Yeah.
the only thing that I was signing off on was the request for the road work, so.
well, if you'll check, I bet you'd find that, I mean, I can call Marty and ask him how long he's been working on this, but the landowners I talked to said they have actually torn up 1/20th pretty bad hauling gravel. And they broke through in a couple locations and they're not, and I know they're not in my district, but they talk to me, so they're not happy about the condition that the road's in. Where with our road agreement that you had when they constructed this, there were procedures and policies in place that they had to restore everything. And I don't know that we've got that with this permit. You may have, Steve's gone this week, you said,
He'll be gone part of the week.
part of the week.
Yeah.
I mean, you just may want him to take a look at that between
Yeah.
77 and Timber to see what the road looks like, but the information.
They are supposed to put it back according to our permit to the way that it was
I
before.
think the radius is back out.
Yeah, they have to take them back up. And then
That's the other
the road needs to be in the same condition that it was.
See, the thing is, I know picking and choosing here, but if they go through with putting a radius in, the landowners are all right with it. Farmers are all right with it. Wouldn't we wanna leave the radius? Why would we wanna lose that infrastructure?
That was a question that was asked
I know we asked that,
in the very beginning,
right,
and we never got a good answer.
yeah, cause I mean, the way the semis are getting anymore and bigger,
Farmers need them for their
turning
equipment.
corners, it'd be nice to have some radiuses around, but
I know that on
that's
the,
just my opinion.
and on the north one, there was quite a few that would have been happy if they'd have left them, but that wasn't part of the,
That's, I'm not trying to distract from your.
Yeah.
But if you go through with this, then why aren't we capitalizing on that infrastructure and keeping it?
Keep them.
I guess my question is, what kind of teeth could we put into some type of policy to keep them from cutting it? You haul them in, can't
I'll
they
find
just
out
haul
what
them?
their procedure and what their process is, if they have any kind of decontamination or like a enclosure or something.
There should be an OSHA policy someplace.
I'm sorry?
OSHA should have a policy, how to take a blade down and get rid of it, shouldn't it?
Well,
I understand what you're all saying, so I can check on it and.
to that end,
Mhm.
and I'd mentioned this before, I really think that we need to look at Article 27 in planning and zoning, and that's where all these policies need to be. We need to set policies for every aspect of it, and there's nothing in, trust me, I've spent a lot of time looking at Article 27 in the last couple of weeks. There's nothing in there that protects the county for anything that they do, and this has been going on across the world for 20, 30 years, so people know what the hazards are. And I think it's time that we take a hard look at protecting Marion County for the future and develop these regulations that we can say, if you do this, this is what we require. It may be too late for these two wind farms that we got in here because they were put in with a wink and a nod. Not to say that, but.
Well, everything would have to be that way. I mean, grandfather rules.
Right, but moving forward, we've got to protect Marion County. If, like I say, I mean, I can imagine what it's gonna look like if the wind's blowing 30 miles an hour out there and they're cutting that turbine into 20-foot sections, and there's just gonna be a cloud of contaminants moving north or moving south or moving whichever way the wind's blowing. And
The wind that was the other day, I know that was extreme,
but it's not.
Oklahoma smoke, I can smell it.
We
Yeah.
always have some wind, it doesn't matter. We have very few
Right.
calm days.
And so,
No, I would feel better if they just
They need to come
took the blade
explain the process.
out of here
Yeah, they've
on
got,
that.
they got equipment to haul them in, they got equipment to haul them out.
Well, after the meeting, I'll verify what they're
Okay.
doing and I'll let them know that we want them to do that.
And as far as the radius goes, is that utility permit, I noticed that it says and right away, not and or. Is that
Well, this is the new,
solving the question is what I'm getting at?
right, if we put
You
and
looked up, was
or.
it utility or is it right of way? Right of way utility.
Now, the policy that she's got in the packet,
Mhm.
that applies to this permit,
Oh, okay, so it's within there, it's noted.
if I can get down here to it so I can read exactly what the policy says. Marion County Highway Use and Utility Permit Requirements and Procedures. It says introduction. The Marion County Commission has adopted this policy for the accommodation of utilities located along, upon, under, across any public roadway controlled by Marion County. Purpose is to inform public utility companies and their contractors, subcontractors, other Marion County Road and Bridge prior to placement of their utilities within the public right-of-way. A public utility shall be defined according to KSA 79-5A01 and Chapter 66 of Kansas State statutes.
Okay.
So if you go to KSA 79-501, Orsted does not qualify as a public utility because they do not provide utilities to retail customers in essence. So I guess my point was, when they established that wind farm, they had a road agreement that designated routes that they could use throughout the project. And now this route comes in, I mean, in my opinion, it would have been,
So I do have one more thing to say about that. They wanted to be on some of our asphalt roads and we did not want them on there because we just redid them. So, this was a more direct route where they have to stay on Highway 77. And then it's a short distance on our roads for this maintenance job that they need to do. So,
well, then the road agreement should have been amended to,
again, I'll have to look at the road agreement to see if that was just during construction or it would be,
Yeah.
sorry,
No.
I've got the attorney that's supposed to be on. He has to be, he has another meeting at 1:30.
Okay.
So we would probably want to do his first when you're ready. He says probably 20 minutes for him.
so, I mean, we can
Take this back
table
up.
this, take it back up later. I just,
No, there's valid points because the permit's invalid if it's based on the KSA, so.
that's my point. And they wouldn't even put their name on the permit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't either. If I wasn't considered a utility, I wouldn't write my name on there.
So,
We need to go to executive session then? With the
Not for
attorney?
this.
Not for this, but the,
Oh, here, I'm sorry.
good with tabling this topic for a second so we can. Alright. I'll move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss active litigation pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item number 2, consultation with our attorney, matters deemed privileged under attorney-client privilege. With the board, attorney, Tina, for 20 minutes until 1:27, with the open session to resume back in commission chambers following the closed session. Motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Alright, Out of executive session, no actions taken. What we got next here?
This one.
Alright. I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss active litigation pursuant to KSA 75-4319B for item number 2 with consultation with our attorney in matters deemed privileged under attorney-client privilege with the board, attorney Samantha Angel and Tina for
We go 10 and then
10 minutes. So until 1:30,
1:40.
40. With open session to resume back in commission chambers following the closed session. Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
140. 140.
So what's the,
I got a whole lot to do.
All right, out of executive session, no action taken. All right. Anything else?
Just evaluation. It was brought up by Commissioner Beneke the other day. He stopped in my office and was asking, when we were working on the health department building and that project, the building committee had approved kind of the landscaping and all of that, and we do have it in the plans to have grass in the very front and the very back. And so Mike had brought up a concern about that. I mean, it had already been decided, but I told him that it would be good, like, if he's got a concern about that and wanting to switch it to rock, that it needs to, you guys would need to discuss that if you want to make a change. So.
I've heard your opinion, but you might as well state it for minutes at least.
Just the next 100 years of maintenance on that little grass strip when that decorative rock perfectly looks good up against the building, don't know why. It's just a maintenance issue for the future.
I'm okay with that as long as it doesn't involve a serious change order.
Yeah, and I don't know what the cost would be. I'd have to bring that back.
You just had the cost of the gravel, and I had them take the dirt down at least 2 inches below the sidewalk. So there is room.
And I mean,
Probably not enough room. I don't know how much gravel we need.
if it isn't much of a change order, then
Do we need,
it'll offset by
inches
the
of room.
maintenance.
Over the next 50 or 100 years or however long
But
we're there.
I think it's a
And
good idea.
that decorative rock up against the building, with the multicolors of the black, the brown, the chrome, whatever, that rock really matches that.
you have a liability issue. The kids walk along and pick up rocks, throwing it at the traffic as they go to school. If you wanna look the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
And just,
I know the reason that the committee
Please
had
do that.
said to put grass was just because it makes it a little bit more welcoming and, but regardless, it doesn't.
Well, that's the only grass there is, right?
In the very
Little
front
strip
and the
on
very back.
East side on the
I was just saying, if you even have to haul a mower over there for something else, then
sidewalk in the middle of it, though there's 4 edges to 4 edges to edge, as opposed to what it takes to mow it, if you're gonna edge it.
how soon are they planning on? Have they already seeded it?
No, they aren't gonna seed until, probably April.
it took 10 minutes to mow it this summer when I mowed it. Of course, I didn't get off and trim it, I just mowed it.
Anybody all right with seeing what the cost is?
I'd be afraid of the liability of rocks. You know how kids are.
Anybody else have an opinion?
I don't have an opinion. I was against the whole project.
That's my opinion too, so.
I know. Well, we're in it. We gotta either complete it the way it is or look at this change or.
Basically, what could be grass, 90% of it is rock already.
In the back,
All right, show of hands, who's okay with it staying grass?
if it's cheaper.
It's not gonna be cheaper.
Well,
It's
I
already.
don't wanna vote for something that ends up being a change order and costing more.
Well, you're gonna have to buy plastic,
I think,
you're gonna have to buy gravel. I mean,
I don't think it's a bad idea, I just don't wanna have a change order.
I mean, if it's something that adds any more cost to it, I'm against it.
So, we're gonna let this one die.
Okay.
Cause the whole back is turned into rock.
But I don't think it's a bad idea, Mike, I don't. Just, we
At
already
this-
spent
at this-
money on
At this
something.
stage in the game, it's not worth fighting over.
The three of us wanted to go somewhere else.
It's not a big enough deal to spend a lot of time on.
Alright, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that we addressed it.
I'm glad you got a chance to say it.
You
Yeah.
could make a deal with the neighbors.
Well, we have, I think we have the ability to mow it.
Yeah,
All right, commission comments. Two.
Most of you get by the transfer station every week. I do, Dave probably does. It is a total mess down there. The property to the south now is, they worked to clean it up. Somebody came in there and cleaned it up last fall, I think, pulled stuff out of there. That property is totally covered with trash. I haven't been to the north side. I know we don't have the personnel to do it. I don't know, do they still have, any kind of community plan for some of the inmates anymore? Community service, do you know?
judicial system did away with that because they didn't have the manpower to watch them.
Well, that's
I
just
can
it,
find
that's
out.
just it. I was just wondering if there was some way we could, if that was a possibility to get some more people. I'm surprised the city's not really complaining about it.
So it's the property that's neighboring us, it's not our
On
property?
the south, but I haven't been on the north. The north may be just as bad,
North is just as bad.
Yeah,
Well,
north.
okay,
The
North
south, somebody owns that.
across the street.
Yeah, somebody bought that.
Yeah, and they came in there and cleaned all
They
that
cleaned it
up
up.
last fall, I think.
Yeah.
Now it's covered with junk.
I'll get with Josh on that.
What?
I know I won't bring
Transfer
that up.
station, yeah. Stuff that blows out of the transfer station.
Yeah, it's all the stuff that's blown out of the transfer station. I mean, we still don't have enough policing down there to try to keep the property looking halfway decent. I mean, you're gonna have those days where it's blowing 40 mile an hour and stuff's gonna come flying out of it, I get it, but every week now that I've gone by, it's gotten worse.
What's your second point?
Second one, the screen that was installed out at the county lake hall. I go to quite a few programs out there. With the size of that room, it's just too small. I think maybe it's a 42 inch, or what do you think that is, that screen out
I mean,
there?
the TV.
Yeah, maybe that at the most,
And it's a big-
38 to 42.
big-
People really have a hard time seeing it.
Well, I'm afraid, since we've rented out, it needs to continue to be a display,
Right.
not a TV.
Well, whatever we're using there, that screen
Yeah.
needs to be bigger. I don't know if we have budget that we could replace that with something bigger,
Just
maybe a
because-
60 inch. I don't know if you could go much bigger than that, the way the walls are configured. But, you know, I go to a lot of things out there and it's way too small for that area. So, might check with Isaac and see what his thoughts are.
I can do that.
Even if we could use, I mean, people are paying to use that hall.
Right.
If we can bank some of that money for 6 months and be able to afford, I mean, it doesn't have to be
Yeah, what does a 60-inch screen cost nowadays?
you
Yeah,
can,
$1,000.
You probably wanna project.
I bought one for 300 during Christmas time, but
Probably.
it's 65 inch.
You probably want a projector, because you rent it out, and they have family events, kids throwing stuff around, you go breaking TV screens. If you have a projector, it could take an impact.
I don't know, most people bring their own computers and stuff and
Oh,
just
okay.
hook up to it. I don't know that you need a projector.
Yeah,
It's just a connector to connect a laptop to or whatever, whoever's doing the
And if
program.
you talk to the Friends of the Lake, you know, they're looking for projects like that too.
But I think people would have really appreciated if it was larger.
Any other commission comments?
Just when you get older.
Okay, hearing none, we're gonna go on to an executive.
Do you want me to? Okay.
Going to
I'll write you a motion.
sorry, I know you were planning on doing something for the next meeting, but I'd rather
No,
get
it's
it out of the
fine.
way.
That's fine.
Get started on
How long do you want?
Oh, 15 minutes. I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss or prepare an employment evaluation pursuant to KSA 75-4319B, for item number 1 for personnel matters and non-elected personnel with the board, 15 minutes until 2:05. Open session to resume back in commission chambers following the closed session. Second. All those in favor? Aye. 5-0.
Here's a form. Do you think you need me back after or not?
I don't believe so. All right, out of executive session, no decisions made. I move that we recess into executive session in order to prepare an employment evaluation to complete pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item number 1 are personal matters and non-elected personnel with the board for 15 minutes until 2:25. With open session to resume back in commission chambers following the closed session. Second. All those in favor? Aye.
Okay, we're on.
Out of executive session, no action taken. Okay, I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss employee evaluation pursuant to KSA 75-4319B for personal matters of non-elected personnel with the board and Tina for 15 minutes.
Oh, you want me this time? Okay.
Until 2:45. With open session to resume back in commission chambers following the closed session.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Sit there, sleep here. 15 minutes.
15? All right. Out of executive session, no actions taken. I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss employee evaluations pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item number 1, personal matters and non-elected personnel with the board and Tina for 15 minutes until 3 o'clock, 3:02. With the open session to resume back in commission chambers following the closed session. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5-0. If I can drive as fast as I can.
Okay.
All right, out of executive session, no decisions. Anything else? We've already had commission comments, but
Make a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. We are adjourned.